specific, they should be measurable, they should be achievable, they should be relevant, and they should be time bound. So the first step to setting your goals is to start with reflection. And there are certain questions you can ask yourself. What worked this year? What did not work? What did I learn about myself? When you ask yourself those questions, what worked this year? What did not work, or what drained me? And then what did I learn about myself? Then you can start writing. First, you write what you are grateful for, you write what you do not want to carry over into the next year, and then you write the lessons that you have learned. That means what I'm grateful for, what I want to leave behind, and what I want to carry forward. Understand that this is only done through reflection. It's a thinking process. You must think in order to even be able to come up with your goals, with clear goals. So if you're already done thinking, you're done reflecting about the current year, the year that is ending, then you can start planning for your next year. And the next thing you want to do is to clarify direction. Goals need direction first. You must give a direction before you set the goal. For example, I want to write goals about my spiritual life, my emotional and mental health, my work or my calling, my relationship, personal growth. You should have all your goals should fall under this subheading. So these are the subheadings. In your goals book, you want to write spiritual life. What matters most for me in this season of my life? And I'll just take us to the next point because they work together to write specific goals. You cannot just write something like I want to grow spiritually. That's why it does not work. Remember, we said that goals should be measurable, and then you should be able to see how relevant they are and achievable. So just saying I want to grow spiritually, what measures are you setting to check that you're growing spiritually? So setting up specific goals, you want to check what do I want to do and how do I want to know that I'm making progress. So instead of saying something like I want to grow spiritually, you can write something like I will pray for 15 minutes every morning when I wake up. I'll study my Bible for 30 minutes every day. That way, it's specific and it's achievable, it's measurable. You can know if I prayed this morning and if I prayed for up to 15 minutes or not. You can know if I've read my Bible for up to 30 minutes or not. And then we're talking about emotional and mental health. Maybe you're saying that this year a lot broke me, so I want to attend therapy. And then so your goal should be see a counselor or see a therapist, and that's something that you can be able to mark if you have done or not. You also set goals around your work or your calling or your purpose. Are you a student? You want to set goals around that. You're a pastor, you want to set goals around that. Or I want to lead 100 people to Christ this year. I want to have straight A's in all my courses this year. So you have something that you're working towards. Personal growth. I want to learn, I want to take a course on baking. I want to take a course on designing. I want to take a course on mental health. Relationship goals. I want to get married by December 2025. By March 2025, I want to be in a relationship. And now, when you go to specificities, which kind of person do I want to be with? We're going to see more of those questions as we proceed, especially when we're doing vision boarding. But I just wanted us to run through briefly how to set goals, because even your vision board for the year will need to come up from your goals for the year. And then when you have set your specific goals, you want to break them into actionable steps, like the steps I've been given already. Every morning, I'll read my Bible for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So you ask yourself, what is the first small step? Okay, I want to get married in 2026. What is the first small step? It's for me to go out of my house, because me who loves my house like that. And it's not like I talk to people. It's not before service even close now. The only thing I'll be telling people is God bless you, God bless you. And I'm looking for taxi to go home. So where do I see man? Where does man see me? If he sees me in church, I'm praying in tongues and I'm shaking my head. So when does he get to know me? So actionable steps now is, what small step can I take? Now I have to start greeting people and smiling always like Ruti. So those are the things that you think of when you're setting your goals. Okay, this year I want to have straight A's. So what can I do to have straight A's? You start by drawing your reading timetable, scheduling your courses to read daily. Even if it's just for an hour a day, I'm going to make sure that I read. Maybe I'll read 2 courses a day, 30 minutes. even if I'm going through just what we studied this week, but I'm going to make sure that daily I read every course for maybe 30 minutes. So you ask what first step can I take? And then you ask, what can I start this month? So 2026 is 12 months, the same way every other year is 12 months. But you cannot leave it for, even if you want to get married in December, you cannot start from June. Some relationships need time to grow. And sometimes you need to break up and start another relationship. So if you wait for June now, if you wait for June and you already had to break up before you start another relationship, how are we going to marry in December? So you ask yourself, what first small step can I take? What can I start this month? And then you also check, what support do I need? During the friendship session, we already learned that you are not meant to do life alone. And it's not only about having a an emotional or romantic partner, like, oh, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. No, it's even with friends. What help do I need? The help that you need is always around you. God always places everything that we need in our network, but sometimes we just don't check to see what we need and who has the ability to offer it. So those are things that you want to ask yourself. What first steps can I take? What can I begin this month? And what help do I need? In answering that question, for what help do I need, you're also going to identify the people that you need, because some of the things that you need are just found in the people around you. And then the next point is to create room for flexibility. See, it's not that because you wrote that I'll have straight A's or I'll get married next year, mean that if boyfriend is not coming, you should just go and get any war buying. You will all join us for another reflection session. We'll cry over your heartbreak together. So give room for flexibility. Don't stay maybe in a relationship because I have set on my goals that I must marry this year. No. What if God now has scheduled the wedding before February 2027? And you're supposed to meet the right person in June. And then you insist that no, it must be December. And then Bushfalla has come now and you have given your number. So what I'm saying is that make room for adjusting your goals. Adjustment is not failure. That you're adjusting your goals doesn't mean that you have failed. Also, rest is part of the process. Don't kill yourself. Oh, I want to make 1 million francs CFA this January, and then you're overworking yourself. You're out every day. You're not giving yourself time to rest. You'll be sick. You use part of that money to buy drugs, and at the end of that month, you will not meet the goals. So being flexible means understanding that adjusting your goals is not failure, and also understanding that rest is part of the process and that growth is not always linear. Maybe my target is 20 million in my account by June, and then by June I have only 10. You can instead give yourself new strategies. You can re-strategize so that in the second half of the year you're able to meet that goal. So understand that growth is not linear. You might say that by March this should be accomplished, by June this should be accomplished, by August this should be accomplished, and some of those things you will need to readjust the time. So if you have gotten to the deadline and the goal has not been achieved, reschedule, change the deadline. Understand that the year is still in course. God can still make this work, even if not at your timeline, but you can re-strategize and still get the things done and still get your goals achieved. And the last point is to commit with intentionality. It's not only about designing good goals, it's about making the commitment, putting in the work, doing what it requires. Start by writing your goals down. That's the first commitment you should take. Actually, write goals for the year, pray over them. Write the goals down. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 says, write the vision, make it plain. The herald who sees it will run with it. So if you don't write it down, it's not clear. If it's only in your head that your goals live, it's not clear. So the first intentional step you want to take is to write your goals down. The next thing is to pray over them. Psalm 37, verse 5 says that we should commit our plans to the Lord and he shall bring them to pass. So you don't have plans. What are you committing to God? When you're going for crossover and saying this year is my year, you're here for what? God is asking you, okay, ma, it's your year, no. But what is it you're here for? So after you've written them down, then you have something to present to God. You have plans to commit to God. And then it now becomes your responsibility and God's responsibility to bring them to pass. As you put in the work, as you put in the commitment, God fuels the grace, brings the resources, and that's how the plans get fulfilled. The last thing is to review your goals monthly and quarterly. Monthly means every month, quarterly means every 3 months. There are 4 quarters in a month. January, February, March, that's one. April, May, June is the second. July, August, September is the third. October, November, December is the fourth. So every month, review your goals. What were the things I was supposed to achieve this month? How did they go? Did I achieve them? Do I need to edit my goals for the next month in order to achieve this? And then every 3 months, what did I achieve this quarter? What can I change? What can I do differently? So that by the next year or by the end of the year, I'm actually meeting my goals. If you wait till the end of the year to do your review, there are many things that you might have adjusted and accomplished within the year that you would have missed out on. So do a monthly and quarterly review. As if as that was, that's how to set your goals. Are there any questions? Yes. Yes, ma.
How do you set specific goals? Talk about specific goals.
Yes, I spoke about specific goals and I said I used the example for spiritual life. Don't write, I want to grow spiritually. What does growing spiritually mean to you? Maybe it's I want to, last year I used to pray for 1 hour daily. This year I want to pray for at least 3 hours daily. How can I achieve praying for 3 hours daily? I'll pray for 30 minutes every top of the hour. So it should be specific. So that way you can measure it. If you say that I'm going to read my Bible for 1 hour every day, and then you can say in the morning I'll read for 30 minutes, before I sleep I'll read for 30 minutes. That way you're able to measure your goals. It's specific enough. Read my Bible 30 minutes when I wake up, 30 minutes before I sleep. So every day you're able to track if you're keeping to that goal, if you're meeting up. Another specific goal could be I want to read my Bible, the entire Bible throughout the year 2026. I want to go through my Bible at least once. And then you start asking yourself, how can I achieve this? How many books do I need to read monthly in order for me to read the entire Bible in 12 months? When you break that down, you start asking, how many chapters do I need to read daily in order to meet up with my weekly target, in order to meet up with my monthly target, and then in order to meet up with my yearly target? So you have to break it down. If you just leave it as, I want to read my entire Bible this year, you might end up not reading up to 10 chapters because it takes a lot of intentionality to go through your Bible. So you want to break down the goals. And I said the same for relationship. I want to get married this year. It's not just about sitting in my house. I'll need to actually take steps, talk to people, meet new people, be more open, friendly, go out on dates, not just stay home. Come. You ask question, go you. Yes, ma.
So, ma, what do you do when your goals are not within your control? Is that right? For things that are not in your control.
Example.
Okay, let's say marriage.
Marriage.
Yes, because I think that sorry, it's the man who gets married to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier for a man to say, I don't know. I'm just saying that's the best example that came to mind. So it's a man who gets married who asks
A
the
lady
woman
for marriage.
yes, for marriage. So how do you as a woman set a goal to marry in 2026 when you have to wait for someone to come to you?
Okay, ma. Go back to the process. So we're here, right?
Yes.
We're at relationships.
Yes.
I want to get married this year. And then we come down to writing specific goals. If I want to get married this year, what do I have to do? I have to go on dates. I have to get to know people. I have to be more open, more friendly, smile more, engage more, connect more. So that's what you are doing under your specific goals. And then you come now to actionable steps. Actionable steps is actually you giving your number, you responding to their messages and to their calls, you accepting to go for the dates when the man says, let's go for a date. Create room for flexibility is where that your question really fits in. Yes. You understand that though I have written all this and I'm taking all these steps, it is not left to me if I would actually, this man will propose to me or not. Yes. So you're being flexible. Like I said, you might be thinking it must be December 2026 and maybe God is planning for February 2027. Yes. Do you now get married to the wrong person because you have a goal to marry in December and you must marry in 2026? No, you readjust, right? You understand that adjusting my goals is not failure. the growth process is not linear. I'll have to adjust to make them achievable. And then that part, you might not be able to tell the man that proposed to me, asked me to marry you, but under committing to your goals intentionally, we said the first thing to do is to write them out specifically. The next thing you want to do is to pray about it. So you don't have the ability to tell a man to marry you, but God can. Pray. That's your own part.
Do you
You
advise
cannot,
I leave a relationship the person is not like not get married to me according to my goals?
according to your
Should
goals.
I leave and marry this
If
person?
that is the will of God for your life, adjust timing. We said if you get to the time that you have set, like maybe June 2026, and it's not happening, we adjust the schedule. You are not in a rush to now go and enter what is not the will of God for your life. You will leave the same way you rush in, you will rush out. So this is God's will for my life. I want to get married by June 2026. I'm praying to God fervently about it. I'm doing my part. I'm being the good wife to be. I'm praying. I'm sticking to God's will for my life. And it's looking like it will not happen in the June that I've said it would happen. Does it mean that God doesn't want me to get married? No. It only means that maybe my time is not the right timing. The Lord says that when it is time, He, the Lord, will hasten it. He will cause it to happen. So sometimes we are overpressured because we have set deadlines and we are not flexible enough to readjust to see that the goals get met. So create room for flexibility and commit intentionally. Do what you can do. You might not be able to convince a man with your words, with your actions to say, marry me, but you can pray about it. Pray even about the time. Like that, it was teaching us on Wednesday. You bring the plan to God. So in under committing to your goals intentionally, we said write it. So write it that way, present it to God that way, pray about it there. Pray. You see, under there are spiritual goals. Even add one of the prayer points there. Pray for my marriage daily. One fasting weekly for my marriage, my kingdom marriage. So do that. So you see that for every goal, you have to walk through this. For every goal that you said, you have to go through this over and over. Break it down to be specific. What steps can you take now? What steps can you take monthly? What support do you need? One of the support that you need for your relationship case is counseling. Yes, go for marital counseling. Then create room for flexibility. And the other points under flexibility, I'm sure you wrote them. I did not write all the points of flexibility. Adjusting goals is not failure. Rest is part of the process. Growth is not always linear. Your goals should not feel like punishment. It's not because you have said that this year like this now, I'll marry, that you should not go and enter what will kill you. If the person is not right for you, it's not right for you. It's not the will of God for you, it's not the will of God for you. We're just sticking to the example of marriage. So growth is not punishment. Your goals are not meant to be punishment. Any other question on goal setting? Or we'll move to what brought us here. Things you want in your life, whether materially or spiritually. So a vision board simply means frame your future before it happens.
Frame your future.
Before it happens. It's a collection of images that represent what you want in your
Now your
life.
mic see on.
Yes, ma'am. So you collect images that represent everything that you want in your life, and then you frame it up. That's why I decided to go through how to set goals first, because in your goals you would have written the things that you want. But then for vision board, I always advise at most 10 pictures so that it's not overcrowded. So after you've written your goals, you look for 10 things that are priority that you want to achieve in the coming year, and then you use them for your vision board. So we'll use my example. I put together some images, we'll just use them. So I said it's a collection of images that represent what you want to achieve in your life, whether material or spiritual. So every image on your vision board is something, it means something to you. Every image means something to you. When you look at the image, you already know what this image represents. You already know why you put this image there and what you're hoping to walk through. This one says, what is mental health? And it's an E class. So then the vision board gives you good feelings, it motivates you. Since it's collection of images that represent what you want, images that mean something to you. So in itself, it's a motivation. In itself, it's something that already gives you the desire to just push. Many people draw their vision boards in different ways. You can, like I brought, we asked for cardboard papers. That's because you can actually use cardboard papers. You can use a frame. Some people draw it in their goal book, like your book is open like that, and then you've put the images and the short notes. So we're just going to look at how to do it. The first step is to think deep and make a list of what you want. Think deep and make a list of what you want. But since you must have already, yes, think deep and make a list of what you want. If you have already written your goals, then you must have already gone through the process of thinking deep. Because the first step to setting goals, we said reflect. What worked? What drained me? What did I learn about myself? What are the lessons I'm carrying forward? What am I leaving behind? What is most important to me in this season? So for your vision board, you think deep and you write a list of all the things you want. Henry Ford says thinking is the hardest work, and that's why very few people do it. Thinking is the hardest work there is, and very few people do it. So get a notebook and a pen and begin with the end in mind. The end is I want to have at least 20 certificates in mental health before 2026 comes to an end. That's the end. I want to have at least 20 certificates. The next end is, Ma, give us an end. Somebody should give us an end. Think, begin with the end in mind. Maybe one thing that you want. I want to get married. Yes, you want 100 volunteers by March. That is the end, right? Yes. Write top 10 goals for the new year. Like I said, we're sticking to 10 for the vision board. So you will get your notebook and your pen. You have already thought, so what do I want to achieve by the end of the year? You already have it. And then you write down your top 10 goals, priority. So from all those your goals that you have written about 2026, what are the top 10 that are important to you? You pick them out. So questions that you want to ask yourself when you're setting up your vision board. What kind of person do I want to be in the year 2026? I want to be more confident. I want to be more reliable. What kind of person do I want to be this coming year? What do I want to do? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a singer. I want to be a therapist. What do you want to do? I want to start a business. The next thing is, what kinds of feelings do I want to have? I want peace. I want joy. I want happiness. The next thing is, what type of people do I want in my life? I want people who are reliable. So you answer those questions. What kind of person is my ideal partner for, especially for marriage? What is my ideal partner? That is going to help you to just check whether this person is fit or not fit when they start coming. How is my relationship going to be? Answer it. When you answer all these questions, then you'll be able to select the right image to use for your vision board, because all of this is so that it can direct you to pick a picture that represents it. How is my relationship going to be? Where do I want to live? What material things do I want? Because like we said, the vision board collects what you want spiritually and materially. Be detailed and specific as possible. Color, size, type. For example, I want a Dell laptop. I want to buy a new King James Bible or a new study Bible. I want a pink phone. Write it there clearly. The color, I want a black shoe. So just be very specific, the color, the type. And then what type of people do I want to meet or work with? You want 100 volunteers. What kind of volunteers do you want to attract? Be specific. Then how much money do I want to make or save within the next 12 months? I'm sure that these questions capture everything. The second is to collect pictures that represent the things you have written down. So, okay, this is it. On Wednesday, I wrote, since I was supposed to prepare for this session, I wrote the things that I wanted to use, and then I went and collected pictures. So I wrote 10 GBV certificates online. That's under self development. Learn driving, get a new phone, get a laptop, attend at least 5 international conferences in person, become a top conference speaker, complete at least 130 hours in therapy, read through my Bible at least once this year, get a new black Bible, build my online presence to 100,000 followers at least on Facebook. So that's what I've written. The next thing now, so I've already answered the questions and I've written the 10 goals.
Why?
Yes, ma.
We are gonna make a man.
So that is it. The next thing I had to do is collect images. So I went online. You can collect images for magazines. It can be some of your old photos that still represent what you want, or you can search online and download the images. So I downloaded this and then I printed them. So that's the same thing that you do. If you're downloading, you download, you print, and then you cut out. So for every goal that I wrote, this is it. There's scotch somewhere here. There's one small scotch. Let me use it now to be pinning on this board. So the next thing after you've gotten your images is to come here, organize them. So let's assume that this is your vision board. The first thing you want to do is number them 1 to 10. Number that thing 1 to 10. So let's take 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're working with 10 goals. So this is our vision board. We'll use this one together. And I've already collected my images. Please be cutting it and giving me, let me be putting it. So we said after you've collected your images, the next thing is to organize them on a large board. Like I said, you could use your frame, you could use your book, depending on how big you want your thing to be, but advisable if it's visible. So we're going to adjust my goals. This thing don't mix up. If my goals here, my vision here, when I all when I gather buy me new vision. So you arrange them. Ah, something has fallen. No, it's okay. I am diligent and resourceful. So when you've collected the images, the next thing is to hang them on, put them on the board in a way that it's very visible.
The numbers are called the priority.
Yes, according to priority, but I don't know if my own is still prioritized. So let me just put them and then we'll come back to adjusting whether it's priority or not. But put according to priority. So if we're putting according to priority, let me move this to this point. Yes, please give me another one. Yes, please give me another one. Yes. I should just be putting this note. We'll come to the notes after. You know what it means. You don't have to go back to look for it. It must be something that represents what you want. The color that you want it, especially if you're dealing with material items. After collecting, you organize them on your board. Whatever you're using as choice of board, make it your own style. Me, I did it like this. Some people do it in college. They group spiritual, group material, group relationship. I want I did not see my relationship. That relationship is very important, please. So when you've collected the images, you now group them on your board. Do it, be flexible with it, arrange it according to your own style. And then when you've put the images, you put a small note. It can be a motivational quote, or it can be just a small note that reminds you of what it is. Everything that I've written here are things that are already on my wall in my house. I just copied them back before the purpose of this example and put them where I put them. So if I wake up every day and I come to my vision board, I know that this, it reminds me that I have at least 20 online certificates I'm supposed to acquire in 2026. And what I've written there is that I am an expert in the message God has given me to share. So I'm not just studying, I'm becoming an expert in the message God has given me to share. That is the goal, to become an expert. How? By getting those online certificates, 20. And I did not just pick any online class. I picked what I'm studying, mental health. So in mental health, I am an expert in the message God has given me to share. The next thing I want is a new Bible. And what I've written there is, I accomplish everything God has placed in my heart to do. God goes before me and is with me, and He will never forsake me. I go buy the Bible, that's what I mean. Then I want to read through my Bible. I've written there, I am diligent and resourceful. because it takes diligence to actually read that Bible. If you have said I'll read daily a certain number of chapters, it takes a lot of diligence. So I remind myself that I am diligent and resourceful. I boldly step out of my comfort zone and obey God in meditating daily. I am an express image of God. The more I study God, the more I become. So I am an express image of God. The fourth thing is I want a phone. Maybe I'm a destiny helper. Let me just state this one clearly. Buy me phone. So I've written there that I expect the blessings of God. I expect blessings to chase me down and overtake me. God is good to me every time, every day. You can write anything. I just had to copy from what I had. I do not have to go and look for anything again. And then this one, relationship goals. There are many couples online, oh, but it depends now on how you want your marriage to be. So me, I want somebody that I can do ministry with. I want somebody that is in ministry. This is a ministerial couple. Apostle Miss Tancredi and his wife. And I also like their love story. From the first day he saw his wife in school, he knew that that was his wife. He has already told all of his friends that this is my wife. Hey, and I've listened to their story over and over how he chased the wife, very committed lady in church. So me, I'm very committed. I want a very committed man. So I want God's best. So I went and picked what reflects the kind of marriage I want. And then their ministry is good. They are also very good standards. You know, they match the kind of system of church that we do. And my father follows him. So why not? I am I am the delight of my husband. You see me and my husband. I am the I am the delight of my husband. I have a peaceful home and a model marriage. I contribute positively to the life and ministry of my husband. So I've already stated there, if the husband is not in ministry, what are we doing together? If I look at this image and say this is what my marriage looks like, he has already told me the kind of person that I want to marry, the kind of relationship that I want to have. And if I come to what I've written here as motivation, I am the delight of my husband. I I have a perfect home, a model marriage. I contribute positively to the life and ministry of my husband. Then we come to the next goal, learn driving. This one came here because of Mashri. She was asking me, how much is UB driving school? I did not know. So I said, let's set that as a goal. And what I've written there is I can become a master at anything I set my mind to do. I can become a master at anything I set my mind to do. Everything in my life is getting better every day, every day. Like I said, these things are normally just what are in my house, my sticker notes. I just confess them randomly. And then for I want a new laptop, I've written that I have all that I need. I am highly favored by God. I'm expecting breakthrough in my life. And then I want 10K followers. And I've already written thank you, 10K followers. You see, so you pick your images according to what you want. I am programmed for success. I have the grace of God to help me accomplish my dreams. Being me is great. So write your own things. What will motivate you? The next is I want to attend at least 5 international conferences, either in person or online. And I've written there, I am sensitive to God's timing over my life. I'm always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And for the 10th goal, I want to be a top conference speaker. Now that I'm receiving a small invitation, I've not yet blown very well. So I embrace every opportunity God brings my way. I am courageous in the pursuit of my dreams. So this is what my vision board for today looks like. Everything here is in my goal book. So after you've collected your images and you've put them on your vision board, you add a note to it or a motivational quote, something that reminds you of what you actually want or motivates you towards what you want. And then after you've put them like that, the next thing you want to do is to put this in a place that you can see it every day. Put it where it's visible. If you're doing it in your notebook, no problem. Snap it, use the picture as your screensaver or your lock screen or your wallpaper. So every time you're going to chat with somebody, you will see it there. Every time that your phone is locked and you want to unlock, you will see your vision board. So if you put it up in your room, every day you wake up, you will see it. The idea is that what you keep beholding, you become. If it is out of sight, it's out of mind. But if you keep seeing it, you keep reminding yourself of it, especially because it's images that already depict the end of what you want. So this is my 2026. I didn't want to, and I should get idea. I never still come to them. So this is my 2026 on a board. Already, when I look at it, I already know what I want for my year. I know what I'm expecting God for. And then I know what I have to do daily. I've written things that should motivate me. I embrace every opportunity that comes my way. So whether it's the place that they're inviting me, that they're taking advantage of me, or as long as it's adding to my goals. 10K followers means I have to post every day. Whether they like the post or they don't like the post, I have to keep showing up and keep posting, because that's how I grow my followership. If I don't stay active, then my page becomes dormant. People don't get to know me. New people don't get to subscribe to the page. At the end of the day, I'll not achieve the goal. So I have to keep it there. And when I wake up daily and I see 10K and I know that I'm still somewhere around 5, I know that I have work to do. So that's what you do. You collect the images that represent what you want. You attach them to your board. You write a note or a motivation to each of the goals. And then you keep it in a place that is very visible. And then you take actions daily to create that reality. Every time you see it on your lock screen, you will remember that there's something that I have to do. Like not like that. There's some any question. Don't
Like you made it so simple. I love the
sing it,
picture.
add clarity to
The
it.
picture here. I think it's really simple. But how do you do to get now?
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back because of my.
Well, when we're born, let's our very born again.
Okay, no, we'll not wipe. We'll just how to get the pictures. I said you can either, if you have any picture on your phone that already represents what you want, like a couple that I admire, yes, you can use it. If not, maybe okay, like this. I want to be a conference speaker. This is Dr. Anita Phillips. She's a pastor and a trauma therapist. She's speaking at a conference. So I did not just pick a picture of anybody speaking at a conference. I pick a picture of somebody who is doing what I do, somebody that I want to be like, at a place where I want to be at, and then I put it and I write my quote to it. So every of this picture is significant. And I already explained the pick this one for the couple. I already explained who they are and why I picked them. So every time I see them, I know the kind of marriage I'm hoping to have. So if you're telling me I love you, every day I wake up, I'm looking at Mr. Crazy and his wife, and like, who is this to? Who is this? So you look at the things that you want, and thank you 10K followers. I want 10K followers. So I just printed my thank you 10K followers. Every day I wake up and I see it, I go and check my followers on Facebook.
Are you
I'm
serious?
somewhere around 5,000. So I'll get there. And then this one, it's just meditation. So I just picked a random image. This one I already said that I want to get certificates in mental health. I want to increase my certificate. So I picked an e-course and one that is on mental health. So every time I look at it, what is mental health? I already know where I should be learning. So whether there are how many e-courses available, I know that I'm supposed to be studying mental health. So when you have written out the 10 things that are important, you now select images. And I said, especially for material things, you want to pick the colors. You write the colors. I want a, or you download according to the image, the colors that I want. Forget this pink. It's just, I told myself that this year I should try to be girly because I don't really know how they do the girl thing. I should try because my favorite color is black. Now, black for flop. Oh, yeah, but I told myself that let me try. Let's try this girly thing. So I just put pink for your for viewers viewers pleasure. So you write it. You if you want a black Bible, write it. You want a blue phone, put it. You want a black laptop, put it. So just the things that you want. Search online, download the images, print them out, cut them. I printed these things yesterday on A4 papers like that, and then I sat down with my scissors, cut them neatly. And then I wrote out the notes. For the notes, I said I already had them in the house, so I just copy it depending on which image I wanted to link it to. You adjust it like that, and if you put it up you can snap it. So I said you can do it on a paper, you can do it in your book. So let's assume that you're deciding to use a cardboard paper. Thank you. Normally if this board did not come, I would have done it on this paper. Just let me attach it up here so that if you're using a cardboard paper at home you will still know where to put it. Just across. That's it. Let's hold it up this way.